Yes.
Thirty-sixth District Court is now in session with the Honorable Raeigen Evans presiding. While court's in session, there will be absolutely no walking, talking, reading, eating, sleeping, driving, smoking. When your name is called, please give your full and undivided attention to the court. Once again, good morning, Your Honor.
Morning. This is the People versus Tammy Rutledge, ticket number SP 1413829, count 1, supply false information and/or ID to police officer. Good morning. Please say your names for the record, starting with the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tamika Horn on behalf of the people, P70303.
Officer Stormer, can you unmute yourself, say your name?
Good morning. My name is Ethan Stormer, police officer of the Detroit Police Department.
Dillard, you want to say your name?
Yes, Your Honor. Joseph Dillard on behalf of Ms. Rutledge. Ms. Rutledge, state your name for the record.
Tammy Rutledge.
Are there any pre-trial matters before we proceed?
None from the people, Your Honor.
Mr. Dillard.
Your Honor, I would like to state for the record that the court has not provided adequate time for preparation of this matter. My client is entitled to adequate representation, adequate time to prepare. The court had indicated 12:30. I was requesting additional time to talk to my client. That was denied. I believe that at this point in time, it's inappropriate for the court to proceed. With respect to this matter, I have not fully discussed the discovery that was given to me. I can appreciate the court's concern to just move things along. However, that is not the case in this case as it relates to Ms. Rutledge's rights. In this particular case, she's looking at the possibility of up to 93 days in jail, $500 in fines and costs. That being the case, this is not something where it's a casual moving of the docket. It is the concern for the welfare and the implementation of constitutional rights and liberties that she is entitled to. The expedition of time, I can appreciate the court's wanting to move things along. However, I believe that being expeditious at the expense of someone being fully advised of her constitutional rights to discuss the case in detail. In this particular case, discovery was just given to me. And as such, I object. However, if the court is inclined to continue, I would ask the court to advise my client of her constitutional rights as it relates to the trial.
Well, this matter was set for trial at 9 o'clock. And I know Ms. Rutledge has been here since 9 o'clock. Officer Stormer has been here since 9 o'clock. Mr. Dillard, you've been here since 9 o'clock. You have been well aware of the charge and of this case since that time. It is now 11:53, which is almost 3 hours later. You have received the discovery, which consists of the ticket, which you've had the docket since 9 o'clock. So you've pretty much had all of the discovery outside of knowing the date and time of the offense and location. You've had all the other information that has been provided to you pretty much since 9 o'clock. So you've been well aware. At 11:24, you indicated you received the ticket. So you've now had over 30 minutes to look at this ticket, and to prepare for trial. You've been an attorney for a long time, so you know how to prepare for trial, and you know what is necessary to proceed to trial. You understand that this is a traffic docket. So unfortunately, more than one trial is set at this time. And no one has a problem with this proceeding to trial. We can go to trial, but you have had more than enough time to prepare for this matter. You've had enough time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So we're going to proceed. So your request is denied. Opening statement, Ms. Horn.
Okay, the people waive opening statement. People are ready for trial.
Mr. Dillard, any opening statement?
Your Honor, reserve opening statement.
You can call your first witness, Ms. Horn.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Let's see. And our witness that we have for today is Officer Stormer. Please state your name for the record.
Officers, you're muted, sir, but you need to raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
You put your hand down.
Where are you currently employed, Officer Stormer?
I'm currently employed at the Detroit Police Department.
Okay, and how long have you been a police officer?
Next month it will be 3 years.
But describe any training you've received regarding investigations for charges such as this.
I am currently in the precinct detective unit, which I've received training for investigations, and I have undergone a MCOL certified police academy.
And can you explain what NCOLS means?
It is the licensing program for officers in the state of Michigan.
Okay, thank you. And what did your training teach you to look for in conducting an investigation? Let me be more specific. As far as investigating a matter, the charges here are supplying false information and or ID to a police officer under MCL 257.324. In such an investigation, what are you looking for?
In such an investigation, I'm looking for statements made by a defendant that contradict each other, as well as situations that do not follow reasonable logic.
Okay. And were you on duty on January 2nd, 2023?
I was.
At approximately 5:17 p.m.? Okay. And did anything happen that afternoon that eventually led you to issue the ticket to the named defendant, Miss Tammy Rutledge?
I was dispatched to a domestic violence police run regarding a boyfriend and girlfriend who had got into a physical altercation.
Okay. And how long did it take you to get to that location, if you can remember?
I do not recall.
Okay. And when you arrived to the location, what did you observe?
I observed a vehicle parked in the driveway of the location. Upon approaching that vehicle, I discovered that it was our caller, the girlfriend in this instance.
Okay. And do you recall the street address to that, or would you need to refresh?
I can refresh using my ticket.
Okay.
And it would be 14900 Robeson.
Okay. And is that in the city of Detroit?
Yes, it is.
Okay. When you approached how did you find out that it was a girlfriend-boyfriend domestic situation?
I approached the driver in the vehicle in the driveway of the location, and she said that she called and that she explained the situation to me.
Okay. And what was that situation?
She stated that she was visiting her
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Okay. Noted, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay.
Sustained.
Okay, we'll move on, Your Honor. Okay, when you arrived at the location, what did you observe between the persons that were there?
I only observed the victim or the caller in this instance. I attempted to knock and announce at the location, and I did not speak with anybody else. I only spoke with the caller.
Okay, and was that at that time or any other, or at that particular time only?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you do after you proceeded to knock and announce?
We knocked and announced. We then spoke with the caller. Caller stated that she did not have her car keys and she would leave.
Objection.
Okay. Yes,
to
yes.
The answer, Your Honor. She's asking what
withdrawn.
he's responding as the we. I would ask that it be restricted to him, what he observed and what.
Only testify to what you observed and what you did, Mr. Officer Stormer.
Okay.
Okay, and at what time did you have an encounter with the person you issued the ticket to?
I had an encounter with the person I gave a ticket to when they arrived on scene to check up on their son.
Okay, and is that person here in the virtual courtroom?
Yes, they are.
And can you identify who that person is and what they're wearing?
It is Miss Rutledge.
Okay, and what does she have on in the virtual courtroom?
Do not see that right now.
Let's see, are you able to pin it? Let's see.
I'm trying to. If she could speak, I could.
I think we need to pin her. I think
You may have to, are you on a phone? Can you?
I am on a
slide-
phone. Yeah.
Can you slide over to look at everyone that's in the courtroom?
Yep, I can. I can see that she's in the vehicle. I do not see what she's wearing because her phone's pointing high up.
Okay. And as far as identifying her, Your Honor, I just think we need a bigger picture. I don't know how we can pin it or make that any one of these. Let's see. Okay, and so the person you spoke with, what were the features of that? Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
What were the features of that person's face?
She had brown hair, and
Okay.
she was about 5 foot. She was slightly shorter than me.
Okay. And I think it's pinned now. Do you see a larger picture?
I do not. I only see a smaller picture.
Okay. Your Honor, we're gonna move back to that part because I believe that the officer is semi-identifying the defendant based
Objection, Your Honor, to
I
the
don't-
clarification.
Yeah.
The court is able to take on its own as to whether or not identification is being made.
Okay.
Counsel's trying to testify. Move that her statements be stricken.
They're stricken.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just for purposes of, I guess, technology, I would like to be Officer Stormer to really look at the person he's identifying as the defendant. I also need her to get fully in the camera. Because from what I see, who he's identifying is half cut off.
It is correct. Miss Rutledge, can you make sure that you're fully in the camera? Because we see a lot of the ceiling of the car, or the roof of the car rather, so.
And she fully in the camera because from what I can tell, the box is like this. And it's not like that.
Can you turn your phone sideways? No, like flip, like rotate it.
Oh. No, I probably would lose if I did all that. I don't know how to do it. Can't move it. Can you see now?
So you're frozen now. I don't know. I mean, I can see you better. I don't know if anyone else can.
I can see it as well. Yes.
Okay. And as to the person who you're identifying as the defendant, do you see that person in the virtual courtroom?
I do.
Okay. And what is that person wearing?
That person's wearing a blue jacket and a red shirt underneath.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Let the record reflect that the officer has just identified the defendant. When you spoke to Miss Rutledge, what did you say?
I asked her if she knew what was occurring at the location.
Okay. And what did you observe occurring at the location?
I observed the complainant, the caller, in the driveway, and Miss Rutledge just arriving on scene.
Okay. And when Miss Rutledge arrived on scene, did you speak to her? What did you?
I did speak. I did speak to her.
And what did you find out?
I questioned her, and I found out that she stated that she thought that her son was not at the location, despite what the caller was insisting, and that if the son did have possession of the keys, that he would be at his father's house.
Okay. And as far as the keys, what interaction did you have in the key situation?
The key situation, the complainant was stating that they could not leave the location because
Okay.
their keys were not there.
Okay, and we can't say what the complainant says, so we'll strike that testimony. When you arrived at the location, and you did the knock and announce as you explained, and you saw Miss Rutledge, what did Miss Rutledge do after you spoke with her?
Miss Rutledge entered the location after I asked her if she could find the keys at the location.
Okay, and did that happen? Did the keys come up?
The keys were found, but not all the keys were found.
And what all keys were you aware that were to be found?
During my investigation, I discovered that the victim was missing her car keys, her house key, and her mailbox key.
Okay. And so you stated, did you state the car keys were brought out by Miss Rutledge, correct?
Yeah. Miss Rutledge brought out the car keys after I asked her to find them for.
Is that the location after? I'm sorry. Please finish.
Go ahead. No, I was finished.
Okay. And were the keys, to your knowledge, brought out from the location that you anticipated them to come from?
Yes, they were. During my investigation, the incident occurred within the house, and the victim had to flee the house, and they had left some of their
objection, Your Honor. As to relevance, this is based on statements, hearsay. Move that it be stricken.
Hey, Mr. Dillon, I got you. I agree. It seems like whatever happened prior to Ms. Rutledge was there isn't really relevant. She wasn't even there. It's not even an issue in this ticket. So we can move on from that.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor. I don't see how we can elicit anything further without the other, the victim.
Okay. Mr. Dillon, any cross?
No cross, Your Honor.
Any additional witnesses this morning?
No additional witnesses, Your Honor.
Mr. Dillon?
Motion for directed verdict, Your Honor. In this particular case, in looking at the ticket makes reference that this is a violation of 46-3-1 of the municipal code for the city of Detroit. Your Honor, with respect to that code provides that in accordance with Section 3K of the Michigan Home Rule City Act being MCL 1173K, the Michigan Vehicle Code being MCL 257.1 through 257.923, as subsequently amended, is hereby adopted and incorporated by reference into this code as fully set up herein. The penalties set forth in the Michigan Vehicle Code being MCL 257.1 ex sequel are adopted by reference, provided that no ordinance violation under the Michigan Vehicle Code shall be punishable by more than 93 days imprisonment, except as provided for in Section 46-3-2 of this code. A complete copy of the Michigan Vehicle Code is available for public inspection in the office of the city clerk. In this particular case, I don't know, there's been no evidence whatsoever that she's violated this statute, this ordinance.
Right, you are correct, Mr. Dillard. I'm gonna stop you there. You are correct. There's no evidence on this record that Ms. Rutledge did supply any false information and or ID to police officer. And so the court will dismiss this matter without prejudice. You're all set.
Okay,
Or-
thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Your
Officer
Honor,
Stormer.
Your Honor, you said without prejudice, this is a
I
trial.
guess with prejudice, it is, yes, with prejudice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're all set. Good luck, Ms. Rutledge.
Ms. Rutledge, you're free to go.
Thank
Your Honor, I would ask that a copy of the dismissal be mailed to Ms. Rutledge.
She can look online. After it's been entered, she can go online and look up her name and it will be there.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Rutledge, you have a good
Okay,
day.
thank you, Your Honor.